It was supposed to be the greatest adventure, a journey to the depths of the ocean, to the wreckage of the Titanic. A journey few would dare to take. The Titan submarine was designed for just that, a state-of-the-art deep-sea submersible capable of diving 12,000 feet, the same depth where the Titanic had sunk almost a century ago. But this mission, like the Titanic itself, was destined to end in tragedy. The Titan, piloted by OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush, was meant to be the next step in ocean exploration, something out of a sci-fi thriller. Along with Rush were 4 passengers, each with their own reasons for embarking on this perilous journey. Hamish Harding, a billionaire businessman, Shahzada Dawood, heir to one of Pakistan's wealthiest families, his son Suleiman Dawood, a university student, and the ever-ambitious explorer. Their mission was clear: to descend to the deepest part of the North Atlantic Ocean and witness the wreck of the Titanic firsthand. The expedition had been years in the making, filled with high hopes and cutting-edge technology, yet none of them could have predicted the nightmare that awaited them. It all began with the sub's descent on June 18, 2023. The Titan had been in the water for hours, slowly descending into the abyss. At first, the passengers were exhilarated, looking out the small windows of the sub at the dark ocean around them. But the beauty of the ocean quickly gave way to the crushing pressure of the deep. As they continued their descent, things started to go wrong. The communication systems, already a bit unreliable, suddenly cut out. The submersible's ascent was not working properly, and then silence. Hours passed. Then a desperate search began. At first, authorities had no idea where the sub was. The search for the missing submersible quickly became one of the most intense rescue operations in history. Ships from all over the world, including military assets, were dispatched to the site. Satellite technology, sonar systems, and rescue teams worked tirelessly to pinpoint the sub's location. Yet, the deeper they searched, the more eerie it became. The ocean is vast, and the wreckage of the Titanic lies in one of the most remote corners of the Earth. But they had no choice. They had to keep looking. It wasn't until the 4th day of the search that authorities finally discovered the submersible's wreckage. The results were devastating. The Titan had imploded under the immense pressure of the ocean depths, killing everyone on board. The evidence was clear. The submersible had failed catastrophically in the most unforgiving environment known to humanity. As details about the tragedy emerged, it became clear that the Titan wasn't just another piece of technology. It was the culmination of risks and decisions made in pursuit of innovation. Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate, had been vocal about his vision for revolutionizing ocean exploration, but he was also criticized for pushing the limits of technology, sometimes recklessly. The vessel was an experimental design, one that hadn't undergone the rigorous testing required for such a dangerous mission. And it wasn't just Rush's bold ambition that led to the tragedy. The sub's carbon fiber hull, the materials used, and the design of the vessel had all been questioned by experts. Many warned that the Titan might not be capable of withstanding the immense pressure of the deep ocean. However, those warnings were ignored or brushed aside. OceanGate was not a company with a stellar reputation in the eyes of deep-sea engineers, and there were whispers about cutting corners to save time and money. As investigations into the Titan's demise unfolded, the world became captivated by the story. How had such a promising piece of technology failed? Was it the pressure of the ocean that crushed the vessel, or was it human error, hubris, and a lack of preparation? No one could answer these questions for sure. One thing was certain: there were survivors, the people who had been left behind on the surface. The families of the passengers and the crew were left heartbroken, trying to make sense of the events that had led to their loved ones' deaths. Hamish Harding's family, for example, had lost a man who was known for his love of adventure and exploration, a man who had pushed the boundaries of human exploration in ways few ever dared to. The Dawood family had lost a father and son, leaving a hole that would never be filled. The tragedy of the Titan raised uncomfortable questions about the growing risks of pushing the limits of adventure tourism and exploration. Was it worth it? Could we truly control the forces of nature? Or were we, in the end, just a small part of a far greater and unpredictable world? As experts and authorities worked to uncover the truth, one thing was clear: there was no easy answer. Yet, despite the haunting tragedy, the search for answers continued. The investigation uncovered issues with safety protocols, lack of communication during the mission, and failures in the design of the sub. The families of the victims were left grappling with the complex web of responsibility that surrounded their loss. While some felt that the submersible's design flaws were to blame, Others pointed to the human ambition and greed that had led to this point. The legacy of the Titan submarine will be debated for years to come. Did we push too hard in the name of exploration? Did the desire to experience the Titanic's wreck lead to the deaths of innocent people? There are no easy answers. What we do know is that the wreck of the Titan serves as a tragic reminder of the fragility of life and the extreme costs that can sometimes accompany human ambition. But even in the shadow of such tragedy, we remain drawn to the ocean. We continue to dream of what lies beneath the surface, and perhaps we'll never stop searching. Because even in the deepest parts of the ocean where darkness reigns, the call of discovery remains loud and clear. As we reflect on this tragedy, let's remember the passengers aboard the Titan. They were not just explorers, they were dreamers. And in a world that constantly tests the limits of human courage, their story is one of boundless ambition and unrelenting curiosity. We honor them not only by learning from their mistakes, but by continuing to reach for the impossible. The truth of what happened to the Titan may never be fully known, but the legacy of that fateful dive will undoubtedly shape the future of deep-sea exploration for years to come.